Hey everybody, it's Nina. I am back today with another video. It's one that I had promised that I would do last week. I think I actually mentioned it first a long time ago when Leanne first did her video. I think it's the 10 things you don't know about me, or maybe she did 5 things. I can't remember, but I had said I was going to do it back then and I never got around to doing it. So I thought I would do one for you guys today. And you can see that my background is different because there are people in my house, my daughter and her friends. And so the only place I had to go film this is actually my husband's music studio / office. So he works here during the day and he is also a musician, which is why there's all the studio equipment behind me. But anyway, so let's just get started because I don't want this video to become, I'm trying to keep track of my time. I don't want this to become too long, but okay. So the first thing you don't know about me is that I was born in South Korea. So my mother is South Korean and my father is African American. And my dad, as you can probably already piece together the story, my biological father was stationed in South Korea, met my mom, and that's how I got here. So I was born in South Korea and I lived there actually for a couple years until I moved to Texas with my parents. And I've only been back to South Korea once, and it was between the ages of 9 and 11. My dad was stationed there in South Korea during the time when I was 9, 10, and 11. So I did live there, and it was a great place to live. I loved it, and I'm annoyed with myself that I haven't taken the time to go back, anytime recently. It's, like I said, it's been so long since I've been there. I do miss it and wish that I could go back. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what has stopped me. It's always, my mom and dad have been back, my brother has been back, but I just was busy working and never just had time to take off. Because, when you go to a trip like that, it's not just a 1-week trip most of the time. It's at least, I think my mom was there for 3 weeks and I really wasn't in a position to be able to take that much time off of work and go. So, but my kids want to go, especially my oldest daughter, and so it is something that I definitely want to plan a trip back to South Korea. Seoul specifically is where I was born. So fact number 2 is that I am a born-again Christian. I believe that Jesus is my Savior and that He died on the cross for me. And really all that means for me is that that's my faith, that's what I believe in. That's what holds me together when things are tough and when life doesn't go the way that I planned, because many things in my life actually have been way different than what I planned it to be and what I imagined it to be. And that's my grounding foundation, I guess is the best way to put it. And that doesn't mean that I'm perfect or that, that I don't do anything wrong. As a matter of fact, I am the most imperfect person anyone could know, because obviously, just like majority of people, I tend to have quite a few flaws. And so I don't claim to be, just because I'm a Christian doesn't necessarily mean that, I'm perfect, I do everything right. And I'm very much what I would consider an unorthodox Christian. So, I don't know what the right way to say that is, but I mean, just to give you an example, like for instance, I don't know if you guys ever saw that episode of Ellen DeGeneres where this lady called in and she was talking to Ellen about the plant that Ellen had moved from her studio set. And I think the lady was telling her, or that she was telling her that she needed to move the plant or something. Anyways, she goes on to say something like, I love Jesus, but I drink a little. Well, that would be a perfect example of me. I love Jesus, but I still have a drink now and then. And I enjoy life and I have fun, and I'm in no fashion a perfect person. I'm a working, a person that's in the works, put it that way. I don't think, that none of us will ever be in a position to say that we've become everything that we should be in whatever faith that we believe in. It's always a work in progress, and that's what I believe my faith to be. But ultimately, it just boils down to the fact that I believe in what the Bible says, and I believe that Jesus is my Savior. So that's fact number 2. Fact number 3, I've got them written down here, which is why I keep looking down. So I mentioned that I was born in South Korea, and fact number 3 is that I actually did not know who my biological father was until I was 13. So yes, there was a daddy in my life. And the crazy thing is, I guess there's that thing where you block certain memories. I don't know how I didn't know this, but basically when I was 13, I found out one morning that that the man that I thought was my dad, who had raised me my whole life, was not my father, and that there was a different man who was in fact my father. And yeah, so I found that out. I don't want to get into a long story about that, because that is a story in itself. And if you guys want me to give you the full version of that very interesting story in my life, I could do that on a separate video. But so that morning at the age of 13, I found out that the man that I called my father my whole life was not my dad. He had actually adopted me. So on paper, I'm definitely his daughter, but in reality, my biological father was another serviceman who was stationed in South Korea. And as a matter of fact, my stepdad, who I don't ever refer to him as my stepdad. I don't even know him that way. So it's really weird just saying that. But dad number 2 and dad number 1 are both from Florida, which I thought was interesting. One is from like Pensacola, Florida, and the other one's from Tampa, Florida. So anyways, that's another story. Going on to fact number 4. I love to read. That is a huge hobby of mine. Unfortunately, things have been so hectic with school and work and, just my family, that these days I don't have a whole lot of time to read. But whenever I get a chance to, I try. And whenever I have like commutes, if I go into the office, I try to listen to audiobooks and things of that nature. I mean, I just absolutely love books. I think it's something that my dad number 2, instilled in me, because he always read to me as a child. Since as far back as I can remember, he always was reading to me, and he's the one who taught me to read. So it's just something that was instilled in me, and till this day, I love a good book. And one day, I hope I might be able to write a book. That's another, one of those dreams for when I retire and have nothing to do. I would like to write a story. I would like to write a book. Okay, so fact number 5. So my childhood dream for a career was to be an attorney. I remember since I was like 6 years old, I said, whenever people ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said I wanted to be a lawyer. And I had planned, I mentioned earlier about how my life didn't turn out exactly the way that I planned it to be. It's one of those things that God throws, on you that, I mean, it's like you make all these plans and nothing ever, I can't say nothing ever comes out the way you plan, but that's how you live life. I mean, things are not going to be exactly the way that you imagined it to be, and that is definitely the case with my life. I thought I was going to be an attorney. I actually had aspirations of being in politics, but none of that actually panned out. And not to say that it's too late, because as you guys know, I'm about to graduate with my undergraduate degree, but it's in business. So I can't decide. I haven't made up my mind. I've been working now with one company for the past, it's going on next, well, it's been 18 years basically. So I do have a very long-standing corporate career, and it's in business. It's in sales, around sales. So I don't know, either I want to get my MBA, or my other option, if I still, I mean, there's still a little part of me that wants to go to law school. I might do that. I mean, I guess it's never really too late if that's what, you know, what you choose to do. So that is an option that I'm considering. So one or the other, I'll either go get my MBA or I'll go to law school. Okay, so fact number 6, I mentioned that I work for, or I don't know, did I say, I work for a large technology company, but that goes into the fact that, fact number 6, I absolutely love sales. I know some people hate sales. They don't like that environment where you're given a target or a quota and you have to get it, and there's lots of pressure on you, and some people don't like the whole aspect of talking to people, and I don't know, it's just something that came kind of naturally to me, but not completely natural. Like, I really had to learn those sales skills, but I just absolutely love the environment of sales. And I feel like what people don't realize is sales skills is like one of those things that you can use in any career. Every person who does anything, whether you work for yourself or you work for a company, you have to have some level of sales skills, because you are selling yourself to the world every single day. And it's something that I learned very quickly and very young. I think by the time I was 14, I had started working, and I started working in the sales environment. So luckily that has actually helped me with my career that I have currently at my company that I've been working for the past 18 years. So that's kind of what I've been doing, but I love it. I love it, and I love to, I'm one of those people who, like, when a telemarketer calls me on the phone and they're pitching me whatever, like, I'm critiquing their sales skills, and I'm telling them how to better pitch their product. So it's very funny, but I love it. Okay, so number 7, I think I can communicate with dogs. I know you guys are gonna think I'm kooky, but I don't know, I have this love of all animals, not just dogs. I love all animals, but I just have this thing with dogs, and I feel like even strange dogs, like dogs that I don't know, like on the street, I feel like I have this connection with them, and I feel like I can communicate with them, and they understand me and I understand them. So it's very weird, but I think it's just my way of having that love for animals, and especially for dogs. I've had dogs all my life. My mom always had dogs since I was a child, so I just love dogs. And I have one right now. I used to have 2, but my boy Boxer passed away back in 2010, and unfortunately my girl Boxer that I have now, she is not very dog friendly. So that is the only reason why I don't have another dog, because I would have definitely gotten another dog when Samson passed away, but I can't because of Zoe, and she's too old now, and I don't want to put her through any craziness by trying to bring in a new puppy. She'll be so jealous. That won't work. Okay, so I think that was 6 or 7. I'm sorry, that was 7. So fact number 8, I love to cook. I absolutely love cooking. I think I get that from my mom. My mom is a wonderful cook, and in the Korean culture, as with almost every culture, whether it's, I mean, I see this on my on my Korean side of the family, and also on my black side of the family. Food is something that brings people together, and there's always food involved in gatherings. And so I it's something that I enjoy. Now, as I've gotten older, it has gotten to a point where cooking for, you know, lots of people, like when I have to do it, it gets a little bit irritating for me. But I still love it. I still love to cook, and I think I'm a pretty decent cook, and most people tend to like my food. No one's dying anyway or gagging that I know of. So one of these days I'm probably going to do some cooking videos. I think I mentioned that too before, but I haven't gotten around to it. Okay, so fact number 9, or I'm sorry, yes, fact number 9, I secretly want to live one day in a off-grid tiny home. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but there's this whole movement with people living a minimalist type of lifestyle where they basically put themselves in a situation where they can build a tiny house. It's called a tiny house, and sometimes it's made out of it could be made out of a trailer, it could be made out of a container, like those big shipping containers, or it could just be made out of regular housing material, built just like a house, but it's off-grid, meaning that it's not using public water, it's not using public electricity. They're basically putting in solar panels and other methods of electricity other than tying into the system of a city or a municipality. So I know this sounds absolutely crazy, and I have changed so much, because I would have never thought that this is something that I would even be remotely interested in, living in a tiny little space. And when I say tiny, they live in houses that are like 120 square feet to maybe, you know, 200 square feet. I have seen some tiny houses that are a little bit larger, or they have multiple sections, meaning like maybe they have 2 shipping container homes, and like one part is their living room, bedroom, and the other part is like their kitchen, dining room, and bathroom. So I have seen those, but I mean, right now, like I live in a 2,700 square foot house, and I feel there are days when I feel like it's cramped in here because we've lived here for a while. So as you can imagine, you accumulate stuff. So I can't even believe that I'm saying this, but I watched those YouTube videos, and if you haven't seen any, do a search on tiny houses and you'll find all the videos of people who live in these. I mean, some of them are pretty amazing, very innovative, and the way they design the interior to take advantage of such a small space, it's like miraculous how they do some of this stuff. Now, the only part that kind of little bit questionable for me is the whole bathroom situation, because most of them have like composting toilets, so I don't know, that could be a little tough. I'm so used to modern conveniences, but I'd like to see if I could do it. I think that's the thing. It's the challenge of it. Whether or not you could give away, or not give away, but give up all the luxuries of the things that we have day to day to live in such a minimalist fashion with very little, needing very little money. So I don't know. It would be tough, but that's something that one day I would like to try. Okay, so for the last fact, fact number 10, I believe in group therapy. Now, group therapy to relieve stress. Now, I don't mean group therapy in the sense of getting people together and having therapy. What I mean by group therapy is target practice. Now, this is something that I think this is something that many of you might find shocking to believe, but I am an avid range goer. Me and my husband, we go to the range almost every weekend where I don't have class. If I have class, we don't go, but on the days that I don't have class, we like to go to the range and shoot our firearms. And we have many different firearms, and it's the way that we relieve our stress. and it's a hobby of ours. So, and I also believe in self-defense. So it's not just about target practice. And when I say group therapy, I don't, if you're not a shooter, then you don't know what I mean. But basically, in target practice, your groups are how close your shots land on the target. So the tighter your groups, the better shooter you are. And so when I say group therapy, that's what I mean. I'm practicing target practice. And so currently, just to show you one of my husband recently bought me this tiny little, it's not tiny, but it's definitely a compact 9mm handgun. It's the Smith & Wesson Shield. I absolutely love this gun. We totally believe in gun safety, so we've attended classes and we know how to properly handle a firearm. And of course, in my home, all of my firearms are locked away in a safe, so nobody has access to them except my husband and I, who have the code to the safe. But it's something that I really enjoy. It's another thing that I never would have thought I would have an interest in. But a lot has changed as I've gotten older. Things have changed, but I absolutely love it. I probably own a good 6 or 7 handguns that are my, I don't know if I have that many, maybe 5 or 6 handguns that are my personal handguns, and my husband owns a bunch more. But that is what we like to do on the weekends. We like to go target practicing. Now, neither one of us have gone hunting or anything like that. I don't think I could do it. I really don't, because I love animals and I just can't see having to shoot them. Now, I will tell you though, if I'm in a survival type situation, I was telling my daughter this the other day, I'm like, if I'm in a survivalist type situation and if I have to kill my own food and, hunt my own food and kill it, I will do it. I have no doubt that that is something that I would do if I'm in a position where I had to. But as far as, as a hobby, like other people, a lot of friends of ours like to go hunting and things like that. That's not something that I think I would do now. But trust me, if I'm put in a situation where I have to hunt my own food, I will do it. You can take that to the bank. So I love firearms. I also have a little bit of an obsession with knives. As a matter of fact, this is the latest knife that my husband recently got me. And it is, I don't know if the glare is allowing you to see it, but it's a tiny, it's not really tiny, it's kind of a smaller pocket knife. It's a utility knife, and this is one of the ones that is a specialty model. It's made by Spyderco, and it's called the Dragonfly Tattoo. And it's okay. So my camera just died on me, just totally shut down while I was giving you guys my showing you my Spyderco Dragonfly pocket knife. Well, anyway, so those are the 10 facts that you don't know about me, and I would like to tag all of you guys watching. Some of the ladies that I would love to hear from would be, I can't remember if, I know Leanne did it. I know how to make up 73. I think she also did a video. I don't know if Kat gets her sexy back. If she wants to do it, that would be great. Kate, I can't remember if Kate has done one of these videos. Denise, I would love to hear your video. Ivana, if you have time to do this video, that would be great. Susan, I would love to see a video from you. Anybody who's watching, I tag you to do this video. I think it kind of helps, us get to know each other a little bit better. And I know some people are not comfortable with sharing a lot of personal or private information, which I totally agree. If you if you don't feel comfortable, definitely should not share it. But you could kind of share like superficial stuff. I don't know. But it would be great to see some videos from you guys. I love you all, and thank you so much for watching my videos and for subscribing to my channels, and especially the ladies who recently subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.